Hey YouTube, hope everybody is enjoying their Labor Day time off, family, barbecues, whatnot. Hey, this review is going to be on my appendix inside the waistband carry holster for my VP9 SK. I'll also go over a little bit of the mods. As you can see, the threaded barrel is in. Just to let you guys know, weapons cleared, there's nothing in the chamber, there is an empty magazine in, but I'm filming one-handed and it's a pain in the ass to do all that. So let's get into it. About May of this year, I purchased this VP9 SK, which I love, absolutely love. I had this thing sent off to Primary Machine in Louisiana. They milled my slide, installed the RMR, and then also Cerakoted my slide for me. They did a great job. I mean, it's very, very happy with this. Highly recommend them. Then from there, they also put the suppressor height sights on. So everything you see on this slide was done by Primary Machine. After that, I ordered the threaded barrel through hkparts.net. I already had the Streamlight TLR8. So the biggest issue with this was, I had to get some new holsters. And there are not a ton of holsters out there, holster makers out there, that will make a light bearing holster for the VP9 SK. Okay, so that's where you're going to run into a lot of issues. If you don't run the light, you're going to have a lot more options. I'm a guy that basically says, look, if I'm going to be accosted, I'm most likely it's going to be in the dark. It's going to be in a dark place, low light, right? So I like to take a light with me to help me identify my subject. Okay. So I purchased a couple of holsters and a couple of belts. The first one that I purchased, which was actually the second one to arrive, which is why it will be reviewed second, is the Black Point Tactical Mini Wing. Okay, I will do a separate review on that. But the first one to arrive, second one purchased, was the Odin Holster's Valknut. And this is an appendix inside the waistband light bearing holster. Okay. I gotta give a shout out to my boy on the job, Scary T. Scary T was the one who said, look, you gotta start carrying appendix, bro. It's way more comfortable and, you conceal better. So I listened and he's right. So, and that was one of the reasons when you guys have seen my video on my 40, and the 40 is not that much bigger than this. But I did want something. My goal was discreet concealed carry. I'm not printing everywhere. I'm not, with as much as a full capacity as I could get. So this is a 13 round magazine, okay, one in the chamber. So that's 14 rounds. 14 rounds. That, to me, that's, and I carry a spare magazine as well. But I wanted the full capability. It comes with a couple of 10 rounders that I could use. you know, I showed those in the original review. One is very small, so I can, you know, it's a flat mag, so it won't print as much, which is nice, but I'd rather have the 3 rounds. So my goal, okay, was to be able to carry this as is, right there, without printing, without it being too heavy. So my first crack on this was the Odin Valknut. I got this one in multicam black, which is nice. I like the way it looks. Give me 30 seconds here. I gotta put this thing together. So there you go, right? Weapon in the holster. Well, the first impression is the fit on this is tremendous. I know you guys can't see it, but there is no wiggle, there's no slop, there's no, nothing's getting hung up. There was a nice click going in, nice click coming out. And you know, the iron sights clear nicely. I got the high sweat guard on this. That's nice and comfortable. You can see the light bearing aspect is nice. Odin makes a very, very nice holster. You don't see a lot of reviews on here on YouTube about with the Valknut, and that's one of the reasons I decided, hey, I'm going to review this thing, because there might be 1 or 2 on there, but this is a very, very well made holster. For some of you guys that are looking to carry a light with a VP9 SK, you know, and I'll try to do this without pointing it at me, but you can see the threaded barrel clears easily. Just the construction of this holster is it's top quality. It really is. And it's a little bit cheaper than some of the other, you know, like a tier 1 or, and I'm not saying that the tier 1 is, you know, not worth the money. Everyone I've known says that has one loves them. All right. So great construction, good fit. So I slapped this holster on this belt. Okay, and it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. This is a Core Essentials reinforced leather belt. Okay, I've been wearing this for about a year. This holster on this belt was brutal. It was flapping. It was, you know, but I was like, yo, what is going on? What, you know, I gotta see if... It was horrible. It was uncomfortable. It was, I did a couple of things, okay? Number one, this belt. So let's take a look at what I believe the symptom of this is. This is a very narrow, again, this is an unloaded weapon. I don't mean to point it at myself, but this is a very narrow, structured holster, right? Very narrow. Whereas this is significantly wider, and you can see where the clips are, very much wider, right? So this is going to distribute the weight a lot better than this one right here. This concentrates all the weight right here. The other thing that I was looking at is I raised this up. If you look at where the belt is going to run and where my RMR sits, right? You don't want the belt running up against your RMR, right? So I thought that was a concern. I actually moved these down one to raise the holster up, and that really wanted to flop. Okay. So I was a little discouraged. And I went on, you know, this platform for YouTube. And lo and behold, I figured out that my belt wasn't strong enough. Right? I needed a much more sturdy belt. I purchased this belt. This is a Vetter Holsters Cobra. Okay. I'm going to do a separate full review on this. But this belt solved some of my problem. Okay. It solved the flopping. The issue I had is the interface on this. These two clips, I hate them, honestly. I hate these clips. They're called tuckable clips, and I couldn't, you know, you order the holster with it, there it is. That's what you get, right? That's what I ordered. I didn't really do any research, I'm not going to lie. I was like, yep, 2 tuckable clips, sure, that's better than 1. Better than what they call the foamy. Okay. So I hated the tuckable clips. They were hard to get on and off in terms of, you know, and I started thinking, well, only one of them has to be, you know, retained up against the belt. You can't really see it that way, but, right? So the modification I made is I cropped that second clip, okay? This now sits for just weight distribution, okay? This isn't retained on the belt, but this one is super strong, okay? I did buy it with their mod wing. I'm very happy with that. And I had a bunch of these tier 1 concealment wedges. These are just foam wedges that stick on the back, and they help the weapon to sit at more of an even platform. Okay. So what was the end result? This is an excellent holster. Once I figured out my belt and I worked on the clips and I went back to the original configuration and I played around with it, and it's not the belt isn't, because the belt sits in front, it's not hindering my RMR or even resting up against it, okay? And the end result is an extremely, with this system, okay, with these components, okay, an extremely comfortable inside the waistband appendix carry, okay, extremely comfortable. And part of the comfort, once you get past the weight distribution, is that this thing is so narrow, okay? So there's no rubbing up against your thighs. There's no, I mean, I have spent, you know, the better part of this Labor Day weekend wearing this pistol in this configuration. I even, you know, fell asleep with it. You know, took a nap on the couch. I was like, you know, let me see how it feels. But I've been out and about. I've been carrying. I don't print, and part of that interface is a good. You know, I'm wearing t-shirt, khaki shorts, and you know, in the holster and the belt. Maybe some flip-flops or you know, sneakers. But I'm generally a t-shirt guy. You know, a good dark shirt. But this does an excellent job of not printing and putting the weapon in the right spot. For me, between the mod wing, okay, this mod wing right here, and the wedge, that works out for me perfectly. Okay. And then, but the star of this is the belt. I also have a second belt that I'm going to review, and that is from Core Essentials. That is a ratcheting belt, very similar to this. Okay, so if I had to give this a rating, I would give it a 9 out of 10. All right, it's a very well built holster. You know, I have no issue with it. The only thing I will say is when you take these apart, make sure you get these screws lined up nicely, because you can, if you don't tighten them, you can scratch or slide, or there's channels. You can see there's, in the holster right under here, there's channels but make sure they're tight. I do have a couple scratches on my light, but that's me. That's on me. That's not on Odin. This is the original configuration that they sent to me. Okay, and I played around with it a bit. Had I not messed around with it, the scratches wouldn't have been on there. But very, very comfortable holster. And I'm very happy with it now. I'm very pleased that I finally got a setup that I enjoy carrying. Just a side note, it's a crazy town out there right now with all the stuff going on in this country, and to be able to discreetly carry, not printing, not, people are going to try to take advantage of you anyway, but with everything going on right now, if they figure out that you're carrying, they're gonna, which is amazing to me, because it used to be if they found out you were carrying, they would stay away from you. Now it's like they target you. So the ability to discreetly conceal carry is definitely not lost on me, and this holster does a great job of that. All right, so I highly recommend it for VP9SK Odin Valknut light bearing holster. The light I have is the Streamlight TLR8. It fits perfectly. All right, nice job, Odin, and everybody stay safe out there. All right, be vigilant. It's a crazy town. Peace.